Okay, where are my paddle boarders? Paddle boarders. Anybody tried it? Paddleboarding. Yeah, it's basically a surfboard, a little bigger, and you stand up on it in the water and you paddle with a big long oar. Great core muscle workout, right? Great core muscle workout. So let's imagine that we're all paddle boarders, okay? And we go up to the Salt River where they do all the tubing and stuff, and a lot of people are doing what do you call them, paddleboarding up there. And you get to the edge of the river, you put your paddleboard in, you climb up on it, you get your balance, and you start to paddle. And you're paddling upstream. Now, why would you do that? That's going to make it a lot more difficult fighting the current and everything, going against all the traffic that's coming down the river. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Well, the simple principle applies to all of life. Life works better when we go with the flow. So today we're continuing our series, Getting Our Ducks in a Row. And my message is understanding unity and oneness. Unity and oneness. These are the principles that support us in learning creativity and transformation and healing that are going to support this new design for life that we've been creating all year. Because it's a new design we're stepping into, we're making something new, we're changing from where we are. So we have to have these skills of creativity and healing and transformation to be the new person in the new design, right? So would you agree that we live in an orderly universe? Would you agree with that? Hmm. Well, let's think of the cosmos. We look up in the big cosmos, and the planets and the stars and the solar systems, they're all hanging out up there, and there's an order to them. And they move around a little bit just because that's how they do their orbits and things, but they're pretty much in the same place. So there's order there. They're not jumping around all over the place. We have to go look and play hide and go seek with them. They're there. We see it in nature. If you think about the seed, the soil, and the plant, it's a pretty orderly system that works for tomatoes and cucumbers and trees and weeds and everything else, right? And we also see it in the seasons. They change. It's a cycle, it's an order. And we see it in our own lives and our biology. It works in an orderly fashion most of the time when we treat it well, right? Now, life may seem chaotic. I heard some groans when I asked if it was order. It may look like it's chaotic, but it's really not. It's really not. I liken it a little bit to a storm at sea where all the waves on top are chaotic and crazy, but down below it's just nice and calm. And so we live in this orderly universe. It's not really chaotic. One of the reasons that I think it appears chaotic to us is because of things like false information and all of this negative news that we see every single day, whether we want to or not. Now, you may be like me and don't watch the news, but you still see it, don't you? Or you hear about it. Somebody wants to tell you about it. Wants to tell you all about it. Yeah. So as I pondered my own life this week, I was sharing with Joe and Jim. I started running through all the stuff that I expose myself to every week. I look at Facebook. I look at Instagram. I look at YouTube. I watch TED Talks. I look at Amazon influencer videos sometimes. If I'm looking for a particular product, I want to know what somebody else thinks about it, see what their experience with it was. And like I say, I don't watch the news, but I will look at headlines just to sort of keep up with what's going on. And I'll sometimes read an occasional story online. That's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that I'm putting into my mind. And I realize this, that really what I'm doing is subconsciously I'm hunting for that needle in a haystack, that needle in a haystack of good, interesting, entertaining, valuable content. Yeah, it's out there, but there's also a lot of junk, isn't there? There's also a lot of junk. Well, this week I discovered some of that junk. It's given me a good perspective on the ton of information that I'm exposing myself to every day. And usually, isn't it just someone else's opinion about what they think about something? Radio frequency identification. RFID, you may have heard of it. Well, RFID scanners can scan bad actors that have them, can scan your credit cards in your wallet and steal your credit card numbers. Have you heard that? Yeah. And they can do it when you don't even know it. You don't know it till it starts showing up on your credit card bills. And fortunately, there's a huge market of people that are making RFID um, carrying cases, handbags, wallets, little sleeves that you can protect your cards in and stuff to protect us, right? You can get one in nice leather. You can get a beautiful wallet. You can get just a little foil insert that you can use in your existing wallet. Comes in vegan leather if you prefer that. Comes in plastic. So there's a big range of price points and styles out there. So you can stay safe and stylish. It's all hogwash. It's all hogwash. It's not true. It's not true. According to security professionals and scientific research, Chief Operating Officer James Lee at Identity Theft Resource Center says, "We do not believe this topic addresses a real risk at all." Technology experts and consumer protection advocates agree. RFID scams do not pose a credible threat. Frank McKenna, chief strategist for Point Predictive Fraud Detection in San Diego, "It's only a theoretical fraud. There's no proof. No proof. RFID scanning is not considered a credible threat for stealing credit card numbers from a distance. Claims that criminals can steal data from 15 to 20 feet away are false because contactless cards use near field communication, which requires the scanner to be about 1/3 of an inch from the card." Now, most of our wallets and our purses are thicker than that, aren't they? So these cards are buried in there. And if somebody gets that close to me with a machine, I'm going to notice, right? I'm going to notice. So save your money on that RFID purse you've been looking at. The point of this example is there's so much stuff out there, and it becomes part of our belief system. It becomes part of our belief system if we don't investigate it. So we are getting this false information all day long, and then it becomes part of the culture. And then there's a whole marketing campaign and products and things that are being sold to prevent it. World Cup. Any World Cup fans? Anybody been watching it? I've been fascinated by some of the interviews that I have seen of the players and the guests in particular who have been here, who have been so surprised about how nice America and Americans are. Because you see, they've been fed the same stuff in their countries about us, that we're horrible people. And they're like, actually, they're not. It's pretty cool. And they've got ranch dressing, right? Yeah. So it's a universal worldwide thing that is happening, this misinformation that's going on. When we intellectually understand this, when we get it, when we can begin to take a higher perspective and see, yes, there's this avalanche of information coming at me. It ain't all true. And we can begin to recognize that and not get so upset by it, right? Because it's not really, until we do our research and know if something is really true. But when we can rise above it, we can begin to make some new choices for ourselves. We can put that money for the RFID products in something else, right? We don't have to buy that purse or wallet now. We can rise above the chatter, and we can not allow that to influence our thoughts any longer. This reminded me of Zig Ziglar's teaching. Anybody, any fans of Zig Ziglar? I first was studying Zig back in the late 70s, I guess. And he was talking about stinking thinking and that we have to balance out all of the negativity that we receive every day because it's the natural tendency of humans to receive more negative or talk about more negative than it is positive. And he was talking about the newspapers back then that if you read the newspaper every morning, you really need to read double that in positive and affirmative things, put more good stuff in so that you can balance that out. And the same is still true today. We need to balance all of that other stuff that we're going to unintentionally hear and see and experience. And the science of mind, of course, is all about our thoughts and how to clean them up, how to change our thinking, change our lives, right? This week, as I was doing my reading, I came across one of Ernest Holmes' writings. Ernest is the author of The Science of Mind, the teaching that we teach here. And he's encouraging one of my favorite spiritual practices. So, of course, I had to stop and read this. He's encouraging meditation. He says, each day, without fail, give time to meditation. Sit quietly. Forget everything that suggests chaotic conditions and personal dilemma. Sit in daily meditation, consciously accepting your power to decree and to decide. Form the habit of controlling your own mental action. Know that perfect order and harmony in your affairs is your birthright and claim it now. Perfect order and harmony is your birthright. Claim it. Claim it. This builds on last week's message, if you were with us, where we talked about freedom. And he said the goal of life is complete freedom from all discord and is sure to be attained by all. It's a pretty cool teaching, isn't it? It really is. So we live in this orderly universe, and we are part of that order. We're not here to throw a monkey wrench in the system. We are part of the order. And when we begin to understand how the system works, we can begin to live in alignment with its rules. We stop paddling upstream. We begin to paddle with it, go with the flow. So how does the system work? Oneness and order means we're a completely interdependent system. Complete interdependent system. Everything, everyone needs everything and everyone else. I shared last week how I was thinking about our music program and wanting to expand that here. And I got that phone call and it was unknown. And I usually don't take those calls. I let them go to voicemail. And it was 5 minutes before a board meeting. And I looked at the phone and something in me said, take the call. So I did. And it was referral for 2 new musicians for us to come and sing with us. So I trusted that intuition. This week, I received an invitation, a last-minute invitation, to go to a concert at the Musical Instrument Museum. And the invitation was short notice, and I didn't really know the group that was going except for one person through business, so I didn't really know them well. Didn't know who was performing. Never been to the MIM to see a concert or an event or anything. Wasn't sure what it was. It's a Tuesday night. Do I really want to go out? And I kind of hemmed and hawed. And I heard the voice, go, go. And so I said yes. And I went. It was absolutely delightful. The company was wonderful. The facility is off the charts. If you've never done a concert there, it is amazing. The performers were excellent. And it was just an overall great experience. And the next day, out of the blue, one of those people that I was with sent me an email and said, hey, here's so-and-so. She runs a whole music department at XYZ and can help you get many, many local musicians. Yay. So I had also had a recent desire to get out more social events. And so that was really the motivation for me going and listening to my intuition. It's like, you want to get out more, say yes and go, right? Say yes and go. So I had to cooperate with the flow of my good. I had to say yes, didn't I? I had to say yes. Around here, we teach affirmative prayer treatment, and we also say treat and move our feet. You may have heard that. I think we're sometimes misinterpreting this idea. We think that we have to do the work. Okay, I treated, now I got to go to work. I got to go to work. And that's not really what it means. Remember what Jesus said? He said, it is not me, but the Father within me that does the work. It's not me and it's not you that does the work. It's Spirit that does the work. It is up to us to be willing, to allow, and to cooperate. That's the moving our feet part, is to be willing to cooperate and listen when that still small voice says, go, do. We say yes to unusual invitations. We go where we're being guided by our intuition. We say yes, Mother, to talking to strangers. We talk to strangers because they can be messengers of the divine, can they not? Have you ever heard? I have had people literally in the grocery store line say things to me and go, that is exactly what I was looking for. Not that a thing, but the information, the, um, the spiritual insight, perhaps. So we have to be willing. We pay attention to our dreams. We pay attention to our dreams. We recognize the lessons in the struggles that we sometimes go through that prepare us for the next level of our good coming into form. And we step through those openings in our consciousness to do the deeper spiritual healing work. We don't say no to that. So many people do. So many people go, I'm not touching that one. We're going to leave that Pandora's box closed, right? Not going to dig that one up. And sometimes it's an opportunity for us to do that deeper spiritual healing work. And that's how oneness and unity work with us and our interdependency with each other. Now, that MIM invitation supported my recent desire for more social interaction and getting out. And it also supported my long-term desire about increasing our music ministry here. I had no idea those two things would meet, but the universe did. The universe did. It was a double play for the universe. To do, right? I couldn't have done that in 67 million years. To have the person that invited me, there was 5 tickets, 2 couples and me. Who was the 5th person that canceled? I didn't ask. That person canceled last minute. This person thought of me to invite me. I said yes and showed up because of a different desire. And here's the universe putting all this together and having the conversation while we were at the MIM about our music department and how I was seeking something, and this person overheard it, and then they took it upon themselves to actually reach out the next. I couldn't have done all that. That's how the universe supports us when we say yes. In so many ways that seem so miraculous. That's how it works. That's the interdependency that we are for each other. I needed them. This other person, I mean, they said to me, they goes, well, maybe you'll discover the next Jordan Sparks. What are we going to give to these people that come here, these students that come here and play for us? Maybe we will discover the next star. Support them with our love, our teaching, our friendship. Who knows what can happen? Who knows? Treat and move your feet so the universe can support you. When we do prayer treatment, it's our affirming our good. We're telling the universe what it is that we are accepting. The moving our feet is allowing it to work through us, saying yes to it. So how is life supporting you today? How are you saying yes? What are you saying yes to? Or maybe more importantly, what are you not saying yes to? What are you saying no? Where are you saying no to your good? Now, if I'd have said no to the MIM opportunity, it would have come around a different way. I have no doubt about that. But this was just the most expeditious way for the universe to bring that good to me. It was really a triple play. It was really a triple play because I got the social event, I got the lead for the music, and I got a story to tell you guys about the topic I'm talking about. Triple play, universe, way to go. Science of Mind teaches us to be present, to be present, to be aware, and to listen to our intuition. And those are the skills that we use to participate and play in this system that we live in, this interdependency that we have with each other. They help us recognize that connection. They help us to receive our good and to support others. It's not all just about receiving, is it? It's about also giving. How can we be messengers of the divine for others? Perhaps it's our turn to give to be someone else's messenger of good. We're one interdependent ecosystem on this planet, just like a forest. It's its own ecosystem, right? The way it works and recycles and recirculates. And the forests provide oxygen for us. Yay! When we can begin to see this bigger picture, we can begin to see every interaction as an opportunity to know God. Because that's really what we're doing, isn't it? I see the God in you. I see the God in you. I see the God in you. Because we're all spirit in form. That's what namaste means, isn't it? The spirit in me sees the spirit in you. Understanding the system empowers us to more fully participate in it and to create intentional and meaningful lives. Isn't that kind of why we're here? To learn this stuff, to create a more intentional lives for ourselves and be examples on this planet of what intentional living looks like? Oneness and unity are the principles through which this creativity and healing and transformation come so that we can design and live that life of our design. So this week, I invite you to step into the flow of life. Begin to paddle downstream and allow this beautiful system to support you all the way. So let's look at some spiritual practices for the week. Your practice is be present and say yes. Number 1 is meditate, surprise. Take Ernest's advice. Each day, without fail, give time to meditation. Sit quietly. Forget everything that suggests chaotic conditions and personal dilemma. Let go of the drama. Set a timer and spend 10 minutes in silence, eyes closed, no distractions, every day this week. For my regular meditators, commit to meditating every day this week. And number 2 is to be intentional about your invitations. Every day we're invited into the flow of life. Maybe it's a conversation with a stranger, a friend, or an invitation to an event or activity out of the blue. Maybe it's something that sparks your interest. Fan that flame. See what happens. Be present, be aware, and be willing to receive and to give. Because you never know what the universe is up to, but you know it's going to be good. Maybe it's a double, maybe it's a home run. I want to close it out this morning with one of my favorite poems from Rabbi Lawrence Kushner. And it's from his book, Honey from the Rock, Visions of Jewish Mystical Renewal. Everyone carries with them at least one and probably many pieces to someone else's puzzle. Sometimes they know it, sometimes they don't. And when you present your piece, which is worthless to you, to someone else, to another, whether you know it or not, whether they know it or not, you are a messenger from the Most High. And so it is. And I will open the microphone this morning if anyone would like to talk about oneness, your stories about interdependence, the web of life, how you've experienced any messages from the Most High. All right.
Thank you. I really appreciate your talk about intuition. It's been something for the last year. I'm trying to deepen mine because I truly believe it's a good way to sort through all of the things coming your way. My problem is I keep looking and looking for help through books, and I buy a book. And the one I bought lately, I'm on chapter 10, and it hasn't even mentioned the word intuition. Do you have anything that you could suggest that would be helpful to your line of thinking?
Meditation. Because when we are quiet and we are still, that's when we begin to identify and hear that voice within, to distinguish between the voice of intuition, the voice of spirit, and our ego, our fear, and all those other things that rattle around in our heads sometimes. So meditation time is where we really begin to quiet all of that, and we can hear that still small voice within. And then that flows out into the rest of our lives because we have that relationship built. Skeptical.
I meditate and I do intuition's very important to me, and I try to use it, but I want to deepen my ability, and I'm not figuring out how to do it better. And where I look, it's not happening.
Okay.
But I understand, and maybe focusing on meditation might bring me closer to what I want.
Yeah, and practice. Using it, trusting it. It's like any other practice that we do or muscle that we use. Let's say the more we use it, the stronger it gets. So the more you trust your intuition, however much of it you're experiencing now, trust that and be willing and open to expand that and just trust it more. Okay. Anybody else? Right. Thank you, Chris. Would you join me in prayer one more time? Oh, so as we go within, we recognize there's one power, one presence, one life. That life is God. And that life is our life, whole, perfect, and complete in this manifestation. And I recognize that we are unified in this oneness in spirit, and this oneness in this amazing interconnected ecosystem in which we live, move, and have our being. We really, truly are all one. We are connected at such deep, energetic levels that things like these serendipitous events happen. It's how life works through us. And so I affirm this morning that our intuition, our inspiration, our lives are a showcase of the divine in action. and that we not only receive, but we give, because we are in this flow of life. And we recognize that this truth is in, through, and as all that exists, and that anyone can be a revealer of that truth for us, and that we can be a revealer of truth to someone else. And sometimes we don't even know it, and that's okay. That's totally okay. And so I just affirm that we are one. I affirm this unity. I affirm how the law works through us. And I bless each of us. I bless this center, and I bless each one of us in our week ahead, knowing that we are guided, guarded, lifted, protected, and prospered in everything that we do. That life flows through us downstream with ease, with grace. And so I am grateful for this knowing. So grateful for this truth. And so grateful for this community. As I release this word into the action of law, knowing that it is done, it is so, and we affirm that truth together by saying, and so it is.